embrace the change. Don't be afraid of the change. What we are living today, this dramatic change in our societies and our planet because of this virus, I mean, this is an analogy.
Hi all, welcome to Engati CX. I am Drishti Shah from the Engati team, and today we have the pleasure of welcoming Raul Amigo to our interview series. I would like to begin with just a quick intro of Engati. Engati is the world's leading multilingual no-code chatbot platform, available across 14 channels with 30,000 bots created across 186 countries in every domain and use case. Engati has also been recognized as a top platform by INC.com, Tech World, CIO, and many others. We run the Engati blog, video channel, and the Engati CX podcast, receiving upwards of 300,000 visitors annually. And now for our guest, Raul Amigo is an expert in experience design, author of the bestseller Beyond the Customer Experience. In 2019, he launched his fourth book, X by Design, the Manual of the Design of Experience for Editorial Planeta. He has 20 years of experience and has worked with some of the most admired companies like Google, Oracle, Samsung, Movistar, MasterCard, Microsoft, and many others. So hi Raul, we are really happy to have you on Engati.
Hey Dreshti, how are you doing today? I'm very glad to be here.
Yeah. So starting with the first question that I have for you is that could you share some thoughts about how you see business through the customer eyes?
Well, I think that it's today we can say that we are living in the experience era without any questions, and I think that is a strategic approach. Probably it's a big challenge for many companies because they are still struggling in that fight between what the internal forces in the organizations are fighting against the customer desires, customers' will. And what I'm seeing in many of the projects we are working on is that when you have customer experience is a top-down approach. It's a top-down leadership approach. If your leaders are completely aligned with this vision and this idea, there's no other way that there's no other way to see the reality through your customer's eyes. So when you have that as a strategic approach, then you have to align your employees, your processes, your technology, but that approach comes first. And I think in many regions of the world, that approach is being accepted, and that's the good news. Some other areas, some other regions in the world, there's not there yet, but they're going to, So I feel completely positive that it will be the next big strategic approach in the whole world.
Yeah, absolutely. I think everybody is crafting a journey on how to better the customer experience, and we are somewhere midway there. Not the Amazon level of customer experience, but yeah, everybody's enhancing some way or the other.
At least we understood that we are no longer we don't have anymore the chance to redesign processes on our own knowledge, on our own ideas. We need to use customer insights as our inspiration to redesign processes, operations, and technology. So I think that this is a drastic change for the organization.
Yeah. I think like a first step on how to create a better customer experience, just listen to your customers. That's
exactly. I mean, it's a foundational rock. I mean, and over that statement, I mean, you can do whatever you want. I mean, and it's going to be easier and it's going to be cheaper because, I mean, they are telling you what do you need to do. I mean, you don't need to invent the wheel every time. So
yeah, absolutely.
mm-hmm.
So how can business go about achieving the great customer experience, and can you explain this with your methodology, and which is like based on the 4 pillars at Umuntu?
Yes, we come up with this philosophy, and we based our solutions in 4 building blocks. The first one is get to know your customers deeply. Get into your customer unconsciousness, get into their minds. And that's the first building block. And for us, it's again, it's a foundational rock, because if you don't get into the meaning attribution process of your customers, you will never know exactly how do they build perception. And so there's a whole set of processes and services that you need to build in order to get this ongoing flow of information coming out of your customer's mind. The good news about this first block is that you have today a lot of technological tools, to take that information on an ongoing basis, which is the most important thing, because this is changing the whole research phase of your customers. The second block is it's a design phase. The design phase, it's incredibly important. And what we are seeing today is that with an increasing maturity in the market, design departments, experienced design departments are being part of the organization now. We have that challenge in Umuntu to build those departments for many of these very famous companies, very well-known companies. And they are like setting the lines, setting the way and the rules. So you need to have a very strong design department, and design is the second phase. Number 3, the block number 3 is implementation. The whole customer experience it's a matter of implementation. If you don't transform your processes, if you don't transform your culture, if you don't transform your technology, nothing is going to happen. It's going to be a nice PowerPoint and it's going to relate there, but you need to change your whole organization. You need to change the way your employees work that out. So that third block, implementation phase, is extremely important, because it's what is going to make that dream come true. And the last one is the audit. How do you measure customer experience? What are you using? What technology are you using to be sure that whatever you have designed, it's on the other side, the customer is living it. And then you have to build a whole different way of measuring experiences, because experience is a perception that customers build on every emotional interaction. So you need to be there at every emotional interaction and measure their feelings, measure their sentiments. Again, there's a lot of technological tools that allow that. Umuntu itself, it's a platform that allows you to be there at every moment of truth, and taking the metrics you need to have in order to be sure that all those transformations are taking place in the reality, in the real world. So those are the 4 blocks: customer understanding, design, implementation, and auditing.
That is actually a really, it sounds very basic, but it is actually the most important function when you go about crafting a great customer journey. Yeah.
Absolutely. It sounds easy. It's good. It's easy to understand, but it's very complicated to take to the reality. To make it come true. Because I would say that there's a huge umbrella on top of those 4 blocks. It's culture transformation.
Yeah.
And in my next book, Expert Design, I'm putting that in that part, the culture redesign, as probably one of the most primary objectives you need to have, you need to achieve in order to come along with your entire customer experience project. Otherwise, you don't have any chance. I mean, if you don't change the culture first, if your employees don't want to do that, I mean, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen at all.
Right, absolutely. It's like in the company itself, you won't have to go through a cultural change totally to achieve the steps or the process that you want to achieve.
Yeah, I mean, and that's like a straight line which divide the two worlds. You know, the world of the companies that are saying that are doing customer experience, and from the world of the companies that are really doing customer experience. You know, the only big difference between both worlds is how do you practice your culture. Remember, culture is your values in action. You know, are those values that you are practicing. If you don't practice them, I mean, you don't have any culture on the table. So, I mean, it's a big divide line between both worlds.
Right, absolutely. It's the 4 blocks, really make sense. And also in the implementation phase, when we talk about the technology, so how do you think conversational AI can become a part of this journey in creating memories that would lead to, this great customer experience?
Today is critical. Today is it's a critical part of the whole thing, because remember that conversational AI it's helping you to build that storytelling. You know, we are calling them the experiential storytelling. And it's the story that the customer is going to remember about what happened. The story he is going to tell himself about what already happened. So you need to help him to build that story. And to do that, I mean, in every interaction, you need to have the technology helping you to build that story. So when you can have that kind of conversational AI tools, I mean, definitely, you simplify processes, you speed it up your response time, and also you can create meaningful conversations. So, in my experience, using that technology is completely critical. I would say a little bit more. I will go a little bit farther. There's no way to do it without it. I mean, if you cannot deliver memorable experience at every moment of truth through technology, through this technology, I mean, there's no way to be successful.
Yeah, definitely. It actually, conversational AI is like when somebody coming on your web page, like you just said, the 0 moment of truth. So conversational AI can actually take somebody from 0 moment of truth and maybe till the first and second moment of truth, where they are starting to analyze the product by taking it in hand.
Yes, and remember one thing. But when you turn your moment of, because your efficiency, you turn your moment of truth into a transaction, a simple transaction, you are losing the opportunity to create a memorable moment for your customers.
Right.
And the must in customer experience is you need to build memories. You need to build positive memories. So to do that, you need to turn that transaction in an emotional moment. How can you do that? Create that empathy link between your bots and the people outside, you know. And the technology is so incredible today that it's helping a lot to, you know, to create those kind of empathetic links between both parts. So I think that there's, I mean, and also there's another thing. It is the most cost-effective solution you can implement in your customer journey. I mean, definitely in the sequence of moment of truth. Definitely, when you do the math, you realize that it paid off itself. You know, it's an immediate payback.
Yeah, it reduces the sales cycle like to a great number.
Absolutely. And remember that one of the rules and I will say at the end of the conversation, as one of the deliverables I want to leave here, is you need to intervene at every moment of truth, and we are talking about millions sometimes. Sometimes you are talking about millions of interactions. So there's no chance to get any first contact resolution strategy if you don't do it through artificial intelligence technology. There's no way. No, today, there's no way. And also, I have some clients today in this COVID-19 era that are planning to reset their attention model, and this is the, I mean, this is the big argue between human intervention and cost-effective human-like intervention. You know, so that's the big question at the end of the day. If you can build from your AI platform, you can build an empathetic link with your customers. The solution is right there, definitely.
That's actually a big debate, but I think today chatbots and conversational AI can also provide something like a human takeover or a live chat feature, which when it is like the bot is not able to understand at all, so somebody from the backend can pick it up, or maybe the end user can trigger a live chat and say that I really want to talk to some human. And
Yeah, will always have that chance, and it's fine. And especially with certain archetypes of customers needs to have this human to human interaction, and that's fine. But what we are seeing is that this crisis is turning the service into an opportunity, because we have to turn all our service channels into digital channels. Most of the older people are facing the need to go into digital interactions, and they enter into this new kind of interaction thinking that they were not going to be able to do that because they are old, they don't know anything about technology, and whatever they have in their minds. The miracle is that they are realizing that they can do that. I mean, they know it's easy, it's simple, and at the end of the day, it's a learning process. When you teach your customers to get into these kind of solutions, it's a win-win situation. I mean, they're going to resolve their problems easily. They're going to take those wrong ideas out of their minds, and you will have increasing NPS levels. I mean, you will increase your NPS definitely, because people are going to see that you are getting better and better, because you are solving their problems easily, immediately, and they don't have to wait. There's no reprocessing on that way. So you're going to earn reputation on one hand, and on the other hand, you're going to save money, a lot of money. And that's, I mean, we are not here doing customer experience because we are willing to have friends. We are here because we are sure that creating those kind of emotional bonds with your customers, your operation is going to be efficient, and it's going to be more profitable. And that's the end of the story,
Yeah. So, what role does AI and technology play in an organization's business transformation cycle? And what are the factors supporting it?
Well, I think that I think that they are driving the whole transformation process. They are tracking the transformation process up to the next level. Probably, as I said before, there's some things that we were forced to change because of this situation.
Yeah.
But anyhow, I think that technology, this is a matter of technology. I mean, because as we said, we are talking about improving and redesigning millions of interactions. There's no way that you cannot rely on big data, on artificial intelligence, social listening. I mean, you need to be there where the customers are talking between themselves, and listening to them, and being proactive in terms of understanding and understanding what are they going to do. And this is the artificial intelligence arena. So having consideration that this is not only to have a more efficient process redesign, it's to be more successful as a company as a whole, because even for marketing, I mean, customer experience is helped through the correct usage of these technologies, is getting not only information on an ongoing base from your customer, it's also also have the opportunity to be proactive in terms of the redesign of the value proposition. And that's, I mean, we are not only talking about solving problems, we are talking about delivering value, you know. And when you have this kind of, Umuntu, for instance, it's a platform. We use intelligent AI, artificial intelligence, and social listening to have a dynamic archetyping. The dynamic archetyping, I mean, it's the real image of your customers, because we customers, as a customers, we change our minds every single interaction. I mean, our emotional status is driving us to different places. I mean, we like something that we didn't like before, we don't like anymore something that we loved before. So we are very, you know, like very complicated people, you know. So the dynamic archetyping, it's one of the most necessary tool today, because you need to flow with your customer changes and what they, and you cannot have a, you know, like a sepia picture, and you know, and believing that you know everything about your customer because you do a research one year ago. I mean, the research today is on an ongoing basis, and you need this kind of technology. So that's why what I think is technology is not only driving your efficiency, it's driving your business up to the next level. It's building differentiation. It's building the reason why behind your customer decisions on your favor. So, I mean, today there's no option. I mean, we need to be there, definitely.
Absolutely. It is like, now if you want to go about any digital transformation, these are the driving forces. Of course, there will be different technology on basis of what the customer needs are, but these will be the stepping stones to go ahead with.
No, definitely, and I think that there's some other good factors in this technology wave. I think that they are more cost effective. I mean, the solutions are more accessible. Secondly, they are more assertive in terms of the delivery of solutions. I mean, in the story of modern business, I mean, we have invested a lot of money in technology that never delivered their promises. So now we are living on this real situation where technology is effectively resolving your problems, but also it's habilitating you to go to the next level in terms of you know, of business growth. So and also at a very you know, reasonable cost. It's a reasonable investment. And when as we talked before, I mean, if you have I don't know, 1,000 of contact center positions, which is a huge cost for the organization. And on the other hand, you have a chance to replace some of that workforce for a platform that can help you, being more effective, and also being much more cost effective in terms of the investment. So really, I mean, there's no options behind that. I mean, you can drive your own focus on the right things to do, but also you will have that huge amount of information from your customers that the probability of success is way higher than before. You know what I mean? So this is very important, because we need to understand that the technology is not only to have a better process performance. It's to be a winner into this competitive arena.
Right. Absolutely. That completely agree with you. Yeah. So concluding, do you have any other thoughts that you would like to leave our audience with?
Yeah, I mean, definitely, I have a lot of ideas to share with the audience. But I would say that it's that take this great moment we are living as an analogy. Embrace, and the message will be embrace the change. Don't be afraid of the change. What we are living today, this dramatic change in our societies and our planet because of this virus, I mean, this is an analogy, and that we need to apply this learning to a business, because definitely change is going has came to stay forever. And the lesson we have learned, the way we are managing the changes as human beings, but also as organizations, it's an incredibly valuable asset for us. So my message is, change your mindset. Manage your company, thinking in a different way, in an innovative way, every step of the way, because this is what is going to make us not only survive as today, but also to sustain our growth, success, and contribution to a better world. I mean, we are not only helping companies to grow, to make money, which is fair, but also to make a better world, to help people to have better lives. So I think we should be very happy, because we are blessed by what is going on.
Yeah, definitely agree. Bringing value to the people who are, helping us or paying us, or it's just that, just give whatever the best that you can. Yeah.
Absolutely. It's a matter of contribution. Yes. It's a time for contribution.
Yes. Thank you so much. I think the insights that you have shared and the thoughts that you have shared at the end, Raul, I think that was really valuable. We all need to implement that, and the audience will really enjoy this interview. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Drishti. It was a real pleasure to be with all of you today. Thank you for having me today.
Thank you. So we'll be back with the new episode with a brand new expert soon. So stay tuned, and we'll see you around for the next one.